it was called Pretty Peggy, oh. And there's many a bonny lass in the house of Walker lass. There's many a bonny lassie in the Geary, oh. There's many a bonny Jean in the streets of Aberdeen, but the flower of them all is in Bivey, oh. Come down the stair, Pretty Peggy, my dear. Come down the stair, Pretty Peggy, oh. Come down the stair, comb back your yellow hair, bid a long farewell to your mammy, oh. I never did intend a soldier's lady for to be. I never will marry a soldier, oh. I never did intend to gang to a foreign land. I never will marry a soldier, oh. And the colonel, he cried, mount, mount, boys, mount. The captain, he cried, tarry, oh. But tarry for a while, for another day or two, till I see if this bonny lass will marry, oh. Lang ere we came to the house of Walker lass, we had our captain to carry, oh. Lang ere we reached the streets of Aberdeen, we had our captain to bury, oh. And green grow the birds on bonny either side, low lie the lowlands of Bivey, oh. But the captain's name was Ned, and he died for a maid. He died for the chambermaid of Bivey, oh. And there's many a bonny lass in the house of Walker lass. There's many a bonny lassie in the Geary, oh. There's many a bonny Jean in the streets of Aberdeen, but the flower of them all is in Bivey, oh. The bonny lass of Bivey. The captain's name was Ned, and he died for a maid. He died for a chambermaid in Bivey. What an awful bloody fool he was. How are you? Do you know who's who? This is Thomas Makem.
Right there. And this is my father, Liam Clancy.
It was the French poet Baudelaire who said it. One should always be drunk. That's all that matters. So as not to feel time's horrible burden that breaks your shoulders and bows you down, you must get drunk without ceasing. But what with? With wine, with poetry, or with virtue, as you choose, but get drunk. And if it's sometime on the steps of a palace, or in the green grass of a ditch, or in the bleak solitude of your room, you're waking up when drunkenness is already abated. Ask the wind, a wave, the star, the bird, the clock, all that which flees, all that which rolls, all that which groans, all that which sings. Ask them what time it is. And the wind, the wave, the star, the bird, the clock will reply, it is time to get drunk, so that you may not be the martyred slaves of time. Get drunk and never pause for rest, with wine, with poetry, or with virtue, as you choose. How's that? Let grasses grow and waters flow in a free and easy way, but give me enough of the fine old stuff that's made near Galway Bay. And policemen all from Donegal, Sligo and Leitrim too, we'll give them the slip and we'll take a sip of the real old Mountain Dew. At the foot of the hill there's a neat little still where the smoke curls up to the sky. By the smoke and the smell you can plainly tell that there's poaching brewing nearby. For it fills the air with an odour rare betwixt both me and you. As home you stroll you can take a bowl or a bucket of the mountain dew. Hi-diddly-diddly-dum, diddly-doodle-diddly-dum, diddly-doo, right-diddly-day-day. Hi-diddly-diddly-dum, diddly-doodle-diddly-dum, diddly-doo, right-diddly-day-day. Now learned men who use the pen have wrote your praises high. That sweet poaching from Ireland green, distilled from wheat and rye. Throw away your pills, it'll cure all ills of pagan or fishing or Jew. Take off your coat and grease your throat with a real old Mountain Dew. Hi-diddly-diddly-dum, diddly-doodle-diddly-dum, diddly-doo, right-diddly-day-day. Hi-diddly-diddly-dum, diddly-doodle-diddly-dum, diddly-doo, right-diddly-day-day. Hi-diddly-diddly-dum, diddly-doodle-diddly-dum, diddly-doo, right-diddly-day-day. Hi-diddly-diddly-dum, diddly-doodle-diddly-dum, diddly-doo, right-diddly-day-day.
I know that you're all sitting there chomping at the bit to sing a song with us, aren't you? You didn't need all those excuses that French poet gave you, did you? You could do it without bloody excuses. A lot of verbosity, sound and fury signifying nothing. Good morning. We have a song that I know you all know, and we want to be heard in Chicago whenever we start to sing it. But sing it sweetly.
Oh, the summertime, it's coming, and the trees are sweetly blooming, and the wild mountain thyme grows around the blooming heather. Will you go, lassie?
Sing it out to hear now, come on.
And we'll all go together to pluck wild mountain thyme all around the blooming heather. Will you go, lassie, go?
I'll build my love a bower near yon pure crystal fountain, and on it I will pile all the flowers of the mountain. Will you go, lassie, go? Let's hear.
And we'll all go together to pluck wild mountain thyme all around the blooming heather. Will you go, lassie, go? If my true love she were gone, I would surely find another where wild mountain thyme grows around the blooming heather. Will you go, lassie, go? Sing it sweet. And we'll all go together to pluck wild mountain thyme all around the blooming heather. Will you go, lassie? We'll start the bloody thing from the beginning. The summertime is coming.
Oh, the summertime is coming,
and the trees are sweetly blooming, and the wild mountain thyme, and the wild mountain time rolls around the blooming heather, will you go, lassie, go?
And we'll all go together.
And we'll all go together to pluck wild mountain thyme all around the blooming heather. Will you go, lassie, go?
Thank you. We just came back from Ireland. As a matter of fact, Liam just got back today. I came back last Saturday. And we were doing a tour over, and we had included in the tour a song that we hadn't done for maybe 5 or 6 years, but previously to all that, we had done the song maybe for 15 years, every night. And you get sick, sore and tired of the same bloody song every night for 15 years, and you throw it aside, hoping that when you go back to it, it'll be nice and fresh, and it was. And we went back, and we enjoyed doing the song again. It was all nice and fresh for us, like a new song. We're going to do it for you again, and I'm sure many of you will know it, and you're very welcome to sing along with us. It's a song called The Little Beggar Man.
I'm a little beggar man, a beggar I have been, I for 60 and more in this little Isle of Green. Known from the Liffey down to Sigew, and I'm known by the name of old Johnny Doo. Of all the trades going out, your begging is the best. For when the man is tired, he can sit down and rest. Beg for his dinner, he has nothing else to do, only cut around the corner with his old rig-a-doo. In the barn way down the Corribon, a wet night the mon and I slept till the dawn, with holes in the roof and the rain coming through, and the rats and the cats they were playing peek-a-boo. Who should awaken but the woman of the house, with her white spotty apron and her calico blouse? She began to frighten and I said, boo, or don't be afraid, ma'am, it's only Johnny Doo. I met a little flaxy-haired girl one day. Good morning, little flaxy-haired girl, I'd say. Good morning, little beggar man, how do you do? With your rags and your bags and your old rig-a-doo. I'll buy you a pair of leggings and a collar and a tie, and a nice young lady I'll fetch by and by. I'll buy you a pair of goggles and colour them blue, and an old-fashioned lady I will make her too. Over the road with me pack on my back, over the fields with me great heavy sack, with holes in me shoes and me toes peeping through, singing skinnamarink-a-doodle, oh, what old Johnny Doo. I must be going to bed, for it's getting late at night. The fire's all raked and out goes the light. So now you've heard the story of me old rig-a-doo. It's goodbye and God be with you, said old Johnny Doo.
And we easily amused, God bless us and save.
That's Jean Kelly's father. Or mother, or something like that. They did a lot of travelling, of course, the little beggarmen. Travelled everywhere. They were like ourselves on the bad weather. Every bloody place. You couldn't keep them down. I lived on a street now where they didn't do too much travelling. There were more lovers than travellers. I lived between the O'Briens and the Kellys. The Kellys lived here. They had only 2 children. But they had a big colour television set.
Mr. Gunn!
Hold your tongue.
Well,
Or I'll come down to you. Over here, the O'Briens lived. They had 18 children. So you can imagine your man didn't do too much travelling with 18 children. He had all his time taken up doing other things. The farthest ever he got was about 40 miles one time. He got as far as Bundoran in County Donegal, went off on the holidays. This would be 5 or 6 years ago. And he didn't take the wife with him because she was a bloody nuisance. He brought Kelly, the next door neighbour. He knew he'd have far more crack if Kelly was with him. So they set off one Wednesday evening. About 7 o'clock in the evening. It was sort of raining. Mizzling rain, and he had no wipers on the car. So he had the cap off and he was wiping the windshield like this to see where he was going. He was driving a 1947 Ford Prefect. They got as far as a town called Loughnacloy in County Tyrone, a great big wide street on her. And the rain was, the rain was pelting down, lashing off the road. And about 4 miles outside the town, the car broke down. Now a Rolls Royce or a Cadillac will never break down, they'll just fail to proceed. But O'Brien's 1947 Prefect broke down, so the two boys got out, lifted the bonnet to have a look at it, standing looking at the engine, saying a Hail Mary that it would start, because neither of the two of them knew anything about it. Rain lashing down the backs of their neck, and this big swanky car pulled up, and a very flashy man got out with an umbrella and a nice raincoat, and he says, "Can I give you a hand there?" O'Brien says, "Are you a mechanic?" "I'm not," he says, "I'm a chiropodist." "Well, could you give us a tow?" "Take your time, we got all night." I guess you didn't go to the University of Chicago, you'd have got that like that. No use to them, he took off. So the boys started walking, and they came to a big, lovely yellow light in the middle of a field, knocked on the door, and a beautiful young woman came to the door. She was about 19, wearing a see-through negligee. She was a widow. See, she had married this fella 97 with a bad cough. "Could you put us up for the night?" says O'Brien. She says, "I'm a decent, respectable widow woman. I have just the one bed upstairs and I sleep in that myself. But I have 2 lovely big armchairs beside the fire down here in the room. You're welcome to come in there and make yourselves comfortable." So the two boys went in, dried off their coats and hats, and decent enough she made them a nice cup of tea, and away she went to bed. 9 months later, O'Brien came over to Kelly and he says, "Do you remember that night we were going to Bundoran that the car broke down?" "I do." "Well, tell me this," he says. "When I was asleep, did you sneak upstairs?" Kelly says, "Well, I'd have to admit, O'Brien, I did. Tell me further than that. Did you use my name upstairs?" Kelly said, "I have to admit," he says again, "O'Brien, I did. And I would like to apologize." "Don't apologize at all," says O'Brien. "The woman just died and left me an 85-acre farm. Now, I was only telling you that to get you in a romantic mood to sing a song for me, because I have a song that I know you'll be able to sing. You're all in a romantic mood with a hate every night. They've got the sweat lashing out of you. You should be fit for anything. This chorus in this one says now, and listen carefully because they'll be asking you questions before you're allowed out of the grounds tonight. The chorus says, "Mary Mac's father's making Mary Mac marry me. My father's making me marry Mary Mac. I'm going to marry Mary from a Mary to take care of me. We'll all be feeling merry when I marry Mary Mac." Have you got it? All right, sing it, I'll hear you. Here we go. "Mary Mac's father making Mary Mac marry me. My father's making me marry Mary Mac. And I'm going to marry Mary from a Mary to take care of me." Got you, didn't we? God, I've heard better coming out of a convent after a big night. You sing the bloody thing and don't be insane, but open your mouth and let it flow out of you. Come on.
I'd love to hear it in that accent, Tommy. This Mary Mac's father's making Mary Mac marry me. My father's making me marry Mary Mac. I'm going to marry Mary from a marriage. Jeremy will all feel Mary when I marry Mary Mac.
Listen, you're not singing it properly. You have to throw the heads back, stick the chest out or two if you have them, and let it go, by God. Anything that's worth doing is worth doing well. If you're going to sing the bloody song, sing it. My motto is, if you have an egg, lay it and don't be playing handball with it. Try it again, come on.
"Mary Mac's father making Mary Mac marry me. My father making me and I'm going to marry
Mary for a Mary.
Oh, where the hell were you when I needed you? I thought you knew the bloody thing. What are you saying me know it for? You don't know it at all.
Could you try singing in the same rhythm as we're in? Tommy, we have a bunch of Protestants here. They don't have the rhythm. They don't have...
They don't need it nowadays. Anyway, I'll tell you what. If I roared out the first line, would you roar back the second line to me? Would you roar back the second line to me? That's the style of Mary Shannon. Okay, I'm going to sing Mary Mac's father's making Mary Mac marry me, and you roar back, my father's making me... See that? Here's he got as a wet foot. Turn into the hay. Mary Mac's father making Mary Mac marry me. And I'm going to marry Mary from a Mary to take care of me. We'll all be feeling merry when I marry Mary Mac. Well, there's a little girl and her name is Mary Mac. Make no mistake, she's the girl I'm going to attack. And a lot of other fellas they will get up on a track. But I'm thinking that they'd have to get up early. For Mary Mac's father making Mary Mac marry me. Mary from a Mary to take care of me. We'll all be feeling merry when I marry Mary Mac. For out and diddly diddly down and doodle lady da. This little lass, she has a lot of class, got a lot of brass, and her father thinks of gas, and maybe a silly ass, but I'll let them on the pass. Father thinks he's looking very fairly. And Mary Mac's father making Mary Mac marry me. I'm going to marry Mary from a Mary to take care of me. We'll all be feeling merry when I marry Mary Mac. For out and diddly down and doodle lady da. Mary and her mother go on up about together. Might you hardly ever see the one without the other, and the people of the weather. It's Mary or her mother or the both of them together that I'm hurt. And Mary Mac's father making Mary Mac now. I'm going to marry Mary from a Mary to take care of me. We'll all be feeling merry when I marry Mary Mac. Her husband and diddly down and doodle lady da. The wedding's on a Wednesday and everything's arranged. Soon an name will change the mine unless the mine is changed. And we'll make the arrangements and just about to arrange. Marriage is an awful lot to take. And Mary Mac's father making Mary Mac marry me. I'm going to marry Mary from a Mary to take care of me. We'll all be feeling merry when I marry Mary Mac. Her husband and diddly down and doodle lady da. And there's sure to be a grand affair and grander than the fair. There's going to be a potion fair for every pair that's there. We'll hang upon the finest fair. I'm sure to get the share. And I won't I'll be very much mistaken. For Mary Mac's father making Mary Mac marry me. And I'm going to marry Mary from a Mary to take care of me. We'll all be feeling merry when I marry Mary Mac. Her husband and diddly down and doodle here we go. Mary Mac's father making Mary Mac marry me. I'm going to marry Mary from a Mary to take care of me. We'll all be feeling merry when I marry Mary Mac. Love the English, we'll love her.
Chim pom pom pom, a chim pom pom pom, a chim pom pom pom. Rise and follow Charlie.
Hachim Fa, Scots Gaelic, a language like our own Irish, almost extinct, but not quite. Here's a song that takes us back in history a few years. Back to the year of 1746 in the Highlands of Scotland. To be more exact, it was the morning of April the 16th of 1746. There was a great army coming up into the Highlands of Scotland over the borders of England. They were led that morning by a man who was nicknamed the Bloody Butcher. He was the Duke of Cumberland. And he was coming up with an army, mostly of mercenaries, up into the Highlands of Scotland to wipe out the last of the rebels of 1745. The men that he called the wild Gaelic-speaking savages. A very different army came down to meet him that morning. The clansmen from the Scottish Highlands. There was no mercenaries with them. There was father fighting beside son and brother beside brother. They had no artillery as the English had. They were armed with the dirks and the claymores, the broadswords they carried, and that was their war cry that morning. Claymore! Claymore! Each clan had its own piper. The wild bagpipes to strike fear into the heart of the enemy. They were led that morning by a man who also had a nickname. He was called Bonnie Prince Charlie, Prince Charles Stuart. They met the English on the great moor of Culloden. The Battle of Culloden Moor lasted all of 40 minutes. The Highland men were no match for the English artillery. So many of them were wiped out that the whole clan system of Scotland was brought to its knees that day. Those that remained went back into the mountains or over the sea to the Western Isles or some further west to a land that was to become known as New Scotland, Nova Scotia. where the language lives on to this day, and the music and the pipers still play the pibroch, the lament for those that died. Here's the story and song of that morning's battle. Sound the pibroch. Sound the pibroch loud and high. Great John of Groats to the Isle of Skye. Let all your clans with battle cry rise and follow Charlie. Catching on, catching on, catching on, rise and follow Charlie. By dark Loch Shield they make their stand, that small devoted Highland band. They swore to fight with heart and hand and follow their royal Charlie. Catching on, catching on, catching on, rise and follow Charlie. My dark Florence feel the cold. Mark how they cry, Claymore, Claymore. Bravely they fight till they do more than die for Royal Charlie. Catching on, catching on, catching on, rise and follow Charlie. No more will see such deeds again. Deserted now each Highland glen, and lonely cairns are old men who fought and died for Charlie. Catching on, catching on, catching on, rise and follow Charlie. So sound your pibroch loud and high. Great John of Groats to the Isle of Skye. Let all your clans with battle cry rise and follow Charlie. Catching on, catching on, catching on, rise and follow Charlie.
Have I a wife? Be damn I have. But we were badly mated. One night I hit her a terrible thump, and now we're separated. Morning's going to my work, I meet her on the quay. Good morning to you, ma'am, says I. To hell with you, says she. Oh, my name is Dick Darby, I'm a cobbler. I serve at mid-time at our camp. Some call me an owl agitator, but now I'm resolved to repent.
with me twing of an ting of an ido, with me twing of an ting of an ide, with me roo boo boo randy, and me lapstone keeps bitten away. Now my father was hung for sheep stealing, my mother was born for a witch, my sister's a dandy housekeeper, and I'm a mechanical switch, with me twing of an ting of an ido, with me twing of an ting of an ide, with me roo boo boo randy, and me lapstone keeps bitten away. This 40 long years I have travelled, all by the contents of me pack, me hammers, me awls and me pincers, I carry them all on me back, with me twing of an ting of an ido, with me twing of an ting of an ide, with me roo boo boo randy, and me lapstone keeps bitten away. Now my wife, she's humpy, she's lumpy, my wife, she's the devil, she's cracked, and no matter what I may do with her tongue it goes clickety-clack, with me twing of an ting of an ido, with me twing of an ting of an ide, with me roo boo boo randy, and me lapstone keeps bitten away. It was early one fine summer's morning, a little before it was day, I dipped her 3 times in the river, and carelessly bade her good day, with me twing of an ting of an ido, with me twing of an ting of an ide, with me roo boo randy, and me lapstone keeps bitten away.
I'm a rambler, I'm a gambler, I'm a long ways from home, and if you don't like me, well, leave me alone. I'll eat when I'm hungry, I'll drink when I'm dry, and if moonshine don't kill me, I live till I die.
We can't hear the note, come on, roll it out to here, come on.
I'm a rambler,
I'm a gambler, I'm a long ways from home, well, leave me alone. I'll eat when I'm hungry,
I'll drink when I'm dry, and if moonshine don't kill me, I live till I die. I've been a moonshiner for many a year, I spent all my money on whiskey and beer. I'll go to some hollow, I'll set up my still, and I'll make you a gallon for a $2 bill.
I'm a rambler, I'm a gambler, I'm a long ways from home, and if you don't like me, well, leave me.
Can't hear you in the cheap seats.
I'll eat when I'm hungry, I'll drink when I'm dry, and if moonshine don't kill me, I'll live till I die. I'll go to some hollow in this country, 10 gallons of wash I can go on the spree. No women to follow, the world is all mine. I love them so well as I love the moonshine. I'm a rambler, I'm a gambler, I'm a long ways from home, and if you don't like me, well, leave me alone. I'll eat when I'm hungry, I'll drink when I'm dry, and if moonshine don't kill me, I'll live till I die. Oh, moonshine, dear moonshine, oh, how I love thee. You killed me, old father, but dare you try me. Well, bless all moonshiners and bless all moonshine. Their breath smells as sweet as the the dew on the vine. I'm a rambler, I'm a gambler, I'm a long ways from home. On your own, and if you don't like me, once more, come on. I'm a rambler, I'm a gambler, I'm a long ways from home. And if you don't like me, well, leave me alone. I'll eat when I'm hungry, I'll drink when I'm dry. And a moonshine don't kill me, I'll live till I die.
Listen, we're running out of time. I want you to sing this one with us. It says, all God's creatures got a place in the choir. Some sing low, some sing higher. Some sing out loud on the telephone wire. And some just clap their hands or paws or anything they got. Can you get it? It goes like this.
All God's creatures got a place in the choir. Some sing low and some sing higher. Some sing out loud on the telephone wire. Some just clap their hands, or paws, or anything. And all God's creatures got a place in the choir. Some sing low and some sing higher. Some sing out loud on the telephone wire. Some just clap their hands, or paws, or anything they got now.
Well, listen to the bass, it's the one in the bottom where the bullfrog croaks and the hippopotamus moans and groans with a big to-do. And the old cow just goes moo.
And the dogs and the cats, they pick out the middle where the honeybee hums, and the cricket fiddles the dawn, keep a raise on the folding age, and the old gray badger signs. Oh, all of God's creatures got a place in the choir. Some sing low and some sing higher. Some sing out loud on the telephone wire. Some just clap their hands, or paws, or anything they got now.
Listen to the top with the little birds singing, and the melodies and the high notes ringing, and the hoot owl cries over everything, and the blackbird disagrees.
And it's singing in the night time, singing in the day. The little duck quacks and he's on his way, and the otter hasn't got much to say, and the porcupine talks to himself. Oh, all of God's creatures got a place in the choir. Some sing low and some sing higher. Some sing out loud on the telephone wire. Some just clap their hands, or paws, or anything they got now. It's a simple song, a living song everywhere, by the ox and the fox and the grizzly bear, the grumpy alligator and the hog-a-bug, sly old weasel and the turtle duck. And all God's creatures got a place in the choir. Some sing low and some sing higher. Some sing out loud on the telephone wire. Some just clap their hands and paws, or echo my knock now. All of God's creatures got a place in the choir. Some sing low and some sing higher. Some sing out loud on the telephone wire. Some just clap their hands and paws, or anything they got now.
There's only one line to this chorus.
They're telling us we have to get off. We don't have any more time. We're going to be here all day tomorrow. Stay where you are till tomorrow.
Or come with us tonight. I was talking to the girls. There's only one line to this chorus. It says, fine girl you are.
Fairly well, my lovely Dinah, 1,000 times adieu. For we're going away from the holy ground, and the girls we all love true. We will sail the salt sea over, and we'll return for shore to see again the girls we love and the holy ground once more. You're the girl I do adore, and still I live in hopes to see the holy ground once more. And now the storm is raging, and we are far from shore, and the good old ship is ringing is all told, and the secrets of my mind will love. You're the girl I do adore, and still I live in hopes to see the holy ground once more. You're the girl I do adore, and still I live in hopes to see the holy ground once more. And now the storm is over, and we are safe and well. We will go into a public house and we'll sit and drink like hell. We will drink strong ale and porter, and we'll make the rafters roar. And when our money is all spent, we'll go to sea once more. Till the girl I do adore, and still I live in hopes to see the holy ground once more. Fine girl you are! Thank you.
Whether there's time or not, we're going to sing Four Green Fields. We just discovered, to our great surprise, I just came back from Ireland tonight at 9 o'clock. As a matter of fact, barely made it. We discovered on a 6-week tour there that this song has gone into Irish folklore. Even back in Ireland, most people think that it's an old traditional song. Of course it's not. It was written by Thomas Makem himself, Four Green Fields.
The fine old woman, what did I have? This proud old woman did say I had 4 green fields. Each one was a jewel, but strangers came and tried to take them from me. I had fine, strong sons. They fought to save my jewels. They fought and died, and that was my grief, said she. Long time ago, said the fine old woman. Long time ago, this proud old woman did say there was war and death, plundering and pillage. My children starved by mountain, valley,
and their wailing cries, they shook the very heavens, my full green fields ran red with their blood, said she. What have I now? Said the fine old woman. What have I now? This proud old woman did say, I have four green fields. One of them's in bondage, in strangers' hands, who try to take it from me, but my son's have hands as brave as were their fathers. My fourth green field will bloom once again, said she.
Good night. God bless. We'll be back tomorrow for an hour and a half, 2 hours. We'll see you all then.
And so now, again, we welcome you to the PAP stage at Irish Fest, and we are very, very proud to present two of the finest Irish entertainers that you will ever see. Tommy Makem and Liam Clancy. Let's give them a big Milwaukee welcome.
Hello. How are you?
There once was a troop of Irish dragoons come marching down through Fivey-O, and the captain fell in love with a very bonny lass. Her name it was called Pretty Peggy-O. There's many a bonny lass in the house of Auckland. There's many a bonny lassie in the Geary-O. There's many a bonny Jean in the streets of Aberdeen, but the flower of them all is in Fivey-O. Come down the stair, Pretty Peggy, my dear. Come down the stair, Pretty Peggy-O. Up down the stair, comb back your yellow hair, bid a long farewell to your mammy-O. I never did intend a soldier's lady for to be. I never will marry a soldier, oh. I never did intend to gang to a foreign land. I never will marry a soldier, oh. And the colonel he cried, mount, mount, boys, mount. The captain he cried, tarry, oh. Oh, tarry for a while, for another day or two, till I see if this bonny lass will marry, oh. Lang ere we came to the house of Auckland, we had our captain to carry, oh. And lang ere we reached the streets of Aberdeen, we had our captain to bury, oh. And the green road the birks, and bonny
I'm inside. Low lie the lowlands of Fivey-O. The captain's name was Ned, and he died for a maid. He died for the chambermaid of Fivey-O. And there's money about a lass in the house of the lass. There's money about a lassie in the Gay-O. There's money about a Jean in the streets of Aberdeen, but the flower of them all is in Fivey-O.
Could you turn our monitors way up? We can't hear a damn thing.
What? Can you hear us out there? We like to hear you too. Do you know this? This is just so you know who's telling the corny jokes and who's not. This is Tommy Makem. Tommy is our spiritual director. He doesn't smoke. He doesn't drink. He doesn't go with bad women.
Can't find any.
He might as well be dead.
Well, if I was, I'd be in good company with the way I'm well off here. This is my father, Liam Clancy. And he says of me, this is my beloved son in whom I am well pleased.
Don't have to show your jealousy, Tommy. He's jealous of my youth, my beauty, and most of all, my cap.
It's only the cap I'm jealous of. If you want to get ahead, get a hat.
Ah, with me whack, fall the dough, fall the diddly-idly. Ah, with me whack, fall the dough, fall the diddly-idly. As I rode out through Galway town to seek for recreation, on the 17th of August, my mind in elevated. There was multitudes assembled with the tickets at the station. The eyes began to dazzle, and I going to see the race. With me whack, fall the dough, fall the diddly-idly. It's there you'll see confectioners with sugar sticks and dainties, and lozenges and oranges and lemonade and raisins, and gingerbread and spices to accommodate the ladies, and a big crew bean for threepence to be picking while you're able. With me whack, fall the dough, fall the diddly-idly. I've noticed that all these food stands around here, not one of them has the traditional Irish food, the crew bean. Isn't that terrible to see a wonderful tradition like that just disappeared? Even back in Ireland, at the races now, you go to the races or at the carnivals. What is the fast food of Ireland? It's the bloody McDonald's hamburger. The crew bean, you know what crew beans are, of course.
They don't know what the hell you're talking about. A crew bean is a pig's foot. That's where it got the name of being a fast food. Because you could never catch the pig. You go running like mad. It would escape all the time. And you had to eat them on the hoof.
They might be fast to eat, but by God, if you're going to cook them up, boil them for 11 hours. And when you're serving them up, always leave a little bit of the hair on them for decoration, about an inch or so. And a little bit of dirt in between the two toes for flavouring. Serve them up in last week's newspaper. You can read the headlines on the grease. There's reading and eating in them. It's wonderful.
You can get sick very fast.
It's there you'll see the pipers and the fiddlers competing, the nimble-footed dancers and they tripping on the daisies. There was others frying cigars and lights and bills for all the races, with the colours of the jockeys and the price and horses' ages. With me whack, fall the dough, fall the diddly-idly. It's there you'll see the jockeys, and they're mounted on so stately, the blue, the pink, the orange and green, the emblem of our nation. When the bell was rung for starting, all the horses seemed impatient. I thought they never stood on ground, their speed was so amazing. With me whack, fall the dough, fall the diddly-idly. There was 500,000
million people there of all denominations. The Catholic, the Protestant, the Jew and Presbyterian. There was yet no animosity, no matter what persuasion. But fortune, hospitality, and juice and fresh acquaintance made me what? Fall the dough, fall the diddly idle, and with me what? Fall the dough, fall the diddly idle.
Thank you. I had a request today from a young woman who sent a request up in Ireland last year, and she sent a request up in New York a couple of months ago, and she gave me a verbal request last night, but I'm going to do the song anyway. Song written by Ireland's great national poet William Butler Yeats. It's called The Sally Gardens. Down by the Sally Gardens, my love and I did meet. She passed the Sally Gardens with little snow white feet. She bid me take love easy as the leaves grow on the tree. Oh, but I was young and foolish, and with her I did not agree. I was 21, I heard a wise man say, give crowns and pounds and guineas, but not your heart away. Give pearls away and rubies, but keep your fancy free. But I was 21, no use to talk to me. And when I was 21, I heard him say again, that a heart out of the bosom was never given in vain. 'Tis paid in sorrow plenty and sold for endless rue. And I am 22, and oh, 'tis true, 'tis true. In a field by the river, my love and I did stand, and on my leaning shoulder she placed her snow white hand. She bid me take life easy as the grass grows on the weirs. Oh, but I was young and foolish, and now I am full of tears. Last night we did a song that we hadn't done for a number of years because we had been doing it for every night. And you do a song 300 nights a year for 15 years, you get tired of the bloody thing, so you throw it aside, hoping that when you go back to it, it'll be nice and fresh. And we did when we had gone back to it, it was lovely and fresh. It was almost like a new song. Actually, this is the first song that I ever sang in public in my life. I was all of 5 years old when I graced the stage of the town hall in Cady, County Armagh. There was ambition for you. This is the first song. My mother taught it to me. She hammered it into me the way the nuns do. Sing it! Stand in the corner! Shout! Sing! Sing!
The nuns are not like that.
Oh, that's education for you. Badly lacking in this country at the minute, I can tell you. Do you know that Ronnie plays the ukulele? And and chews gum at the same time. Or those gumballs or whatever the hell he's eating there.
Jelly beans.
Jelly beans. He's full of them. Anyway, not to talk to do with the song.
Wait a minute now. You got at the nuns. You got at the president. Anybody else you'd like to have a dig
I thought the president was a nun. None yesterday, none today, and none tomorrow. Unless you want to go to Central America, and then you can have all you want.
God, will you give us the song quick? What is it?
No, I'm firm to be elected. 1984's coming up, so remember me when you get to the voting box. This is called The Little Beggar Man. What the hell is that going to do? Oh, that's good. Thank God, it sounds like a wet bag apron. I knew a girl used to wear drawers like that. They would rattle like that all the time.
A bit soggy.
You hit her a well up with a stick and she would rattle like that.
Maybe the Bowron is made out of his drawers.
Hey, I'm a little beggar man, a beggar I have been. I've for 70 and more in this little Isle of Green. Known from the Liffey down to Sigew, and I'm known by the name of old Johnny Doo. Of all the trades that's going now, sure begging is the best. But when a man is tired, he can sit down and rest. Beg for his dinner, he has nothing else to do. Only cut around the corner with his old rig-a-doo. I slept in the barn way down a Corribon. A wet night come on and I slept till the dawn, with holes in the roof and the rain coming through, and the rats and the cats they were playing peekaboo. Who should awaken but the woman of the house, with her white spotty apron and her calico blouse? She began to frighten and I said boo, Ara don't be afraid, ma'am, sorry Johnny do. Skiddery out and diddly lad, I met a little flexy-haired girl one day. Good morning, little flexy-haired girl, I did say. Good morning, little beggar man, how do you do? With your rags and your bags and your old rig-a-doo. I'll buy you a pair of leggings and a collar and a tie, and a nice young lady I'll fetch by and by. I'll buy you a pair of goggles and a colour of them blue, and an old-fashioned lady I will make her too. Over the road with me pack on my back, over the fields with me great heavy sack, with holes in me shoes and me toes peeping through, singing skinny-ma-rink-a-doodle, oh, what old Johnny do. I must be going to bed, for it's getting late at night. The fire's all raked and out goes the light. So now you've heard the story of me old rig-a-doo. It's goodbye and God be with you, said old Johnny do. Skiddery out and dayton doodle dayton diddly dayton lad and dayton dayton doodle dayton diddly dayton lum diddly diddly dayton 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 doodle dayton lum yeah dayton dayton diddly dayton lum diddly out dayton doodle dayton diddly dayton lum skiddery out and dayton dayton diddly lum skiddery out and dayton diddly dayton diddly lum skiddery dayton diddly dayton lum skiddery out and dayton diddly dayton lum right and dayton diddly dayton diddly lum skiddery out and dayton diddly dayton diddly dayton lum.
May God forgive us our innocent mirth. Aren't we easily amused?
That's Fred Astaire's son. His mother was a jockey. Did you hear that banging going off? God, for a minute there I thought it was back in Belfast. What do you mean, no?
We're going to be back in Belfast very shortly here, because they're going to start a bigger barrage in about, what, 10-15 minutes.
About 9:30. They're driving us off the stage at 9:30 with a fire.
Now, what it means is that for 15 minutes, we're going to watch the fireworks. We're going to get the hell off the stage because there's nowhere we're going to sing while those things are going up. When we come back, Schooner Fare are going to come back with us, play a few tunes, and we're going to end up all singing together.
Now, we were thinking of continuing singing through the fireworks because we have already tried it out. We were in Belfast for a week in January. A wonderful spot, and our sound man there made the terrible mistake on opening night of playing the Irish national anthem before the show started.
Woman here wants to take your picture, Tommy.
You tell me that's for Playboy, is it? Look at that, he's going to be dung heap of the month again.
Will I have a staple in my navel?
You probably will. It'll keep your arse from falling off. Oh, is this on television?
Not anymore, it's not.
Oh, sorry, this is public television, so it doesn't matter. They play all those English things, and they have all kinds of dirty stuff in them. Take my picture. You could, surely. It'll not cost you much. There you go. Anyway,
Are you going to sing a song with us?
well, whenever we get to it, you can sing it. No, this is I sang this song last night. We had a bloody great chorus going, and I hope we have some of the people back who... Was anybody here last night? Well, I expect you to be able to tell the other ones. Now, this is a
They
little
haven't left. I see those two in front, they haven't left. Look at the state of them.
Look at the pile of beer bottles under their seats. I can tell some of them empty. Some of them full, but not a beer. Well, you all know as well as I do, you don't buy beer, you just rent it for a wee while.
For a wee while?
A wee while. Anyway, this is one of my romantic. I'm very fond of these romantic songs, and because I come from a whole line of romantics, the whole street full. The O'Briens, they had only 2 children. They lived in this side of us, but the Kellys, 18. The O'Briens are the 18. The Kellys had only 2. But this is a song about Mrs. O'Brien, who's a decent wee woman, not to talk of her trade. She was about 4'2" and 783 pounds. 3 times around her, and you're a bona fide traveller. And you should have seen her in the grease bubbling out of her, and hair on her chest, and hair all down her back. None on top of her head, but all down her back. And she had one big long yellow tooth that she used to chew tobacco with, because you could land them 40 yards ahead of you up the road. When you're coming home from school, you had to go to like the hammers of hell in case she ever hit you with one, should have drowned you. Anyway, this is a song about her before she was married, and there's a grand chorus that you're going to help us to sing. And listen carefully to the chorus, because they'll be questioning you before you get out tonight. The chorus says, Mary Mac's father's making Mary Mac marry me. My father's making me marry Mary Mac. Going to marry Mary from a Mary to take care of me. We'll all be feeling merry when I marry Mary Mac. Have you got it? All right, let's hear you singing it. Here's the chord for it. Mary Mac's father's making Mary Mac marry me. My father's making me marry Mary Mac. I'm going to marry Mary from a Mary to take care of me. We'll all be feeling merry. You call that singing?
I thought you said
That's the worst I ever heard in my life.
I thought you said you knew it. You lied to us, didn't you? Mary Mac's father's making. My father's making. Here's the way the nuns teach it. Nah. I'm going to marry Mary for my Mary to take care of me. We'll all be feeling merry when I marry Mary Mac.
Are you Italian talking like that?
No, I think a translation is in order. Here's the way you sing it. Mary Mac's father's making Mary Mac marry me. My father's making me marry Mary Mac. Going to marry Mary from my Mary to take care of me. We'll all feel merry when I marry Mary Mac. Got it?
I get very nervous when I see your wrists going limp like that when you were talking.
Little sweet, you're
Mary,
quite safe with me.
You're bloody right. Mary Mac's father making Mary Mac marry me. My father's making me. And I'm going to marry. That's bloody rotten. Listen. I'll tell you what to do. I'll roar out the first line if you would roar back the second line, Jim. Would you do that for me? All right, I'm going to sing Mary Mac's father's making Mary Mac marry me, and you roar back, my father's make... See that? Here's he gone as a wet foot. There they do them to get to it now. Mary Mac's father making Mary Mac marry me.
Hold it, Tommy, hold it. You've got to sing it in the same rhythm as we're in. I think we have a bunch of Protestants here tonight again, Tommy. They don't have the rhythm. They don't have the rhythm.
Look at her with the 1,200 kids over here in front of her. Is your name O'Brien?
She has no rhythm anyway.
Doesn't he? Thank God for you, missus.
Listen, we're going to be singing a good few choruses tonight, and we might as well get straight now. If you're going to sing the bloody things, sing them. My motto is if you have an egg, lay it and don't be playing handball with it. Never go halfway in these matters. Just throw the head back, stick the chest out, or two if you have them. And let it go, by God. Listen to the echo here. It's beautiful. It's like singing in the John. It's lovely.
The size of a John he has. A 7,000-seater. Mary Mac's father making Mary Mac marry me. My father making me marry Mary Mac. I'm going to marry Mary from my Mary to take care of me. Will always be the Mary when I marry Mary Mac. Her up and ding the dum dum lady da. Well, this little girl and her name is Mary Mac. Make no mistake, she's the girl I'm going to attack. And a lot of other fellas they would get up on her track, but I'm thinking that they'd have to get up early. For Mary Mac's father making Mary Mac now. Marry Mary from a Mary to take care of me. Will always be the Mary when I marry Mary Mac. Her up and ding the dum dum lady da. This little lass, she has a lot of class, not a lot of brass, and her father thinks of gas, and it'd be a silly ass for to let them at the pass. Father thinks he treats me very fairly, and Mary Mac's father making Mary Mac now. And I'm going to marry Mary from a Mary to take care of me. Will always be the Mary when I marry Mary Mac. Her up and ding the dum dum lady da. Mary and her mother go an awful lot together. In fact, you hardly ever see the one without the other, and the people wonder whether it is Mary or her mother, or the both of them together that important. For Mary Mac's father making Mary Mac marry me. I'm going to marry Mary from a Mary to take care of me. Will always be the Mary when I marry Mary Mac. Her up and ding the dum dum lady da. The wedding's on a Wednesday and everything's arranged. Soon her name will change to mine unless the mine will change. And we're making the arrangements. I'm just about to arrange. Marriage is an awful undertaking. And Mary Mac's father making Mary Mac marry me. When I'm going to marry Mary from a Mary to take care of me. Will always be the Mary when I marry Mary Mac. Her up and ding the dum dum lady da. And it's sure to be a grand affair and grander than a fair. It's going to be a fortune there for every pair that's there. But I'm on the finest fair. I'm sure to get my share. If I won't, well, I'll be very much mistaken. For Mary Mac's father making Mary Mac marry me. And I'm going to marry Mary from a Mary to take care of me. Will always be the Mary when I marry Mary Mac. Her up and ding the dum dum go. Mary Mac's father making Mary Mac marry me. And I'm going to marry Mary from a Mary to take care of me. Will always be the Mary when I marry Mary Mac.
Listen, folks, y'all are such nice people. But y'all hush now. I just thought that I'd like to level with y'all, because most people, you know, think that we're Irish.
I can kiss my Irish.
But let me tell you something. Y'all remember those four fellas on the Ed Sullivan show in those orange sweaters? Well, we were just a bunch of fellas over in the forces in Germany, you know, when Uncle Sam called us home. This is true. And we didn't know what the heck we were going to do when we come back to North Carolina. And we were talking about it, you know, on the plane coming back. And don't you know, we put down for a refueling stop at a little old landing strip down south of Ireland called
Shenandoah.
You know, a place that got great big duty-free store and all that kind of garbage. Well, I was just wandering through there, and I saw all these Irish music records, you know. And all these just stacks of these sheepskin goddamn sweaters, things that smell like sheep dip. Don't they smell awful? They smell pretty bad to begin with, but when you've been 4 years on the stage with him and he don't wash it, my God, they smell.
And that wasn't sheep dip to begin with.
But you know, I said to the boss, I said, I got an idea. And don't you know, we just picked up a whole armpit full of them Irish music records and 4 damn sweaters. And we come backstage. Next thing, don't you know, Ed Sullivan show. And we've been fooling y'all pretty good ever since. My God. It's true. But you know, my Uncle Dick from Boone, North Carolina, he gave me this song. And I just know that you folks would like to sing it with me now. My Uncle Dick was real old. And it was only, he was like Tommy Makem, you know. He didn't smoke and he didn't drink and he didn't go with bad women. But when he was real old, he discovered what he'd been missing. He decided he just wasn't going to die at all. So he lived on and on. But before he did die, he wrote this song for me. And it's the whole story of his life. And he put it on cassette tape. And I'm going to sing it for you just the way he done. Because in North Carolina, they put everything on cassette tapes. All of life is one great big cassette tape in North Carolina. It's got a real nice chorus to it, and I just know that y'all can get it. It says, it's never too late to start living, to get out and have some fun. The sun will be just as shiny in the morning as the first day the world begun. God damn, I love that chorus.
Finger licking good.
Goes just about like this. Oh, it's never too late to start living, to get out and have some fun. The sun will be just as shiny in the morning as the first day the world begun. Try it with me. Oh, it's never too late to start living, to get out and have some fun.
Love out Willie Nelson.
The sun will be just as shiny in the morning as the first day the world begun. When I was 80, I started smoking, took to drinking at 85. At 90, I started courting. Thank God that I was alive. At 95, I took to the gambling, determined to rake in the pile. At 100, I made my first million. Whoopee. And started living in style. Oh, it's never too late to start living. I hear you. To get out and have some fun. That's fun. The sun will be just as shiny in the morning as the first day the world begun. Well, I moved to an uptown penthouse, used 50s to light my cigars, developed a taste for fine champagne, drove fast Italian cars. But the doctor, he gave me a warning and a lecture on right and wrong. If I didn't give up my sinful ways, I couldn't live very long. But I said to him, I said, oh, it's never too late to start living, to get out and have some fun. The sun will be just as shiny in the morning as the first day the world begun. She gets real sad from here on in now.
Now I'm a 200-year-old alcoholic, and the nicotine's caught up on me. But worst of all, in this morning's mail, I got a suit for paternity.
Didn't fit.
But I'm not really unhappy, 'cause maybe I'll have me a son, and his mornings will be just as shiny as the first day the world begun. Oh, here she comes. It's never too late to start living, to get out and have some fun. The sun will be just as shiny in the morning as the first day the world begun. Say it once like you mean it. Oh, it's never too late to start living, to get out and have some fun. The sun will be just as shiny in the morning as the first day the world begun.
You were doing well on that, weren't you?
It's not true, actually. We're not from North Carolina at all.
We're from South Carolina. Ah-dee-doo, ah-dee-doo, da-dee. Ah-dee-doo, ah-dee-day. He whistled and he sang till the greenwoods rang, and he won the heart of a lady. Do it by yourselves to hear. Ah-dee-doo. Ah-dee-doo, ah-dee-doo.
Let's hear it from the people in the cheap seats.
The gypsy rover came over the hill, down through the valley so shady. He whistled and he sang till the greenwoods rang, and he won the heart of a lady. Let's hear it. Ah-dee-doo, ah-dee-doo, da-day. Ah-dee-doo, ah-dee-day. He whistled and he sang till the greenwoods rang, and he won the heart of a lady. She left her mother's castle gate, she left her own fond lover, she left her servants and her state to follow the gypsy rover. Ah-dee-doo,
Anybody whistle?
ah-dee, ah-dee-doo. He whistled and he sang till the greenwoods rang, and he won the heart of a lady. Her father settled up as fast as the steed, roamed the valleys all over, sought his daughter at great speed, and the whistling gypsy rover. Ah-dee-doo, ah-dee-doo, ah-day. That's it. Ah-dee-doo, ah-dee-day. He whistled and he sang till the greenwoods rang, and he won the heart of a lady. He came at last to a mansion fine, down by the river Clady, and there was music and there was wine for the gypsy and his lady. You're on your own, let's see. You got the job.
He is no gypsy, my father, she said, but lord of these lands over, and I will stay till my dying day with my whistling gypsy rover. Last chance. Ah-dee-doo, ah-dee-doo, da-dee, ah-dee-doo, ah-dee-day. He whistled and he sang till the greenwoods rang, and he won the heart of a
Before the fireworks start, we're going to finish up with one that you might get the chorus of as well. Now that we've started you singing, by God, we can't stop. It says, drink up the cider, for tonight we'll merry be. We'll knock the milkmaids over and roll them in the clover. The corn's half cut, so is he, so are we.
Drink up the cider, drink up the cider, for the night will merry be. We'll knock the milkmaids over and roll them in the clover. The corn's half cut and so are we. Drink up the cider, drink up the cider, for tonight will merry be. We'll knock the milkmaids over and roll them in the clover. The corn's half cut and so are we. Drink off the cider, George, passes round the jug. Drink off the cider, George, thy garden's well lined up. There's dung all over thy taters and halfway up thy gators, and there's still more cider in the jug. Let's see. Drink up the cider, drink up the cider, for tonight will merry be. Oh, we'll knock the milkmaids over and roll them in the clover. Oh, the corn's half cut and so are we. George,
drink up the cider, George, these been going far. Drink up the cider, George, these getting quite a star. Thy nose be getting redder from Charterhouse to Cheddar, and there's still more cider in the jar.
Sing it, Schooner. Drink up the cider, drink up the cider, for tonight will merry be. We'll knock the milkmaids over and roll them in the clover. Oh, the corn's half cut and so are we. Sing up the cider, George, get up off the mat. Sing up the cider, George, put on a new white hat. We're on the valley birdie to see the fireworkies and the still more cider in the back. Drink up the cider, drink up the cider, for tonight we'll merry be. Oh, we'll knock the milkmaids over and roll them in the clover. Oh, the corn's half cut and so are we. Drink up the cider, George, get it off your chest. Drink up the cider, George, this time we had a rest. There's nothing quite like cider to make your smile grow in. And there's still more cider in the west. Drink up the cider, drink up the cider, for tonight will merry be. We'll knock the milkmaids over and roll them in the clover. The corn's half.
We couldn't have better accompaniment for that.
Come on, up the cider, drink up the cider, for tonight will merry be. Oh, we'll knock the milkmaids over and roll them in the clover. Oh, the corn's half cut and so are we.
See you after the fireworks.
We'll be back in 15 minutes. Don't go away.
And I would like everyone to please welcome back Tommy Makem, Liam Clancy, and special guest Schooner Fare.
Hello? Are the fireworks over? How are your ears? No, they're just about to begin. There's a bracing wintry breeze blowing through the budding trees, and I button up my coat to keep me warm. But the days are on the mend, and I'm on the road again, with my fiddle snuggled close beneath my arm. And I've a fine felt hat, and a strong pair of brogues I have rosin in the pot for the gold. And my fiddle strings are new, and I learn a tune or two, and so I'm well prepared to ramble and to roll. I'm as happy as a king when I catch a breath of spring, but the grass is turning green as winter ends. And the geese are on the wing, and the thrushes start to sing, and I'm headed down the road to see my friend. And I've a fine felt hat, and a strong pair of brogues I have rosin in my pocket for my bow. And my fiddle strings are new, and I learned a tune or two, so I'm well prepared to ramble and turn on the bass. I have in every town as I ramble up and down, making music at the markets and the fair. Through the dumpies and the creels and the farmers make a deal, and the yellow-headed jink are selling wares. And I've a fine felt hat and a strong pair of brogues I have rosin in my pocket for the gold. And my fiddle strings are new, and I've learned a tune or two, so I'm well prepared to ramble and to roll. Here's a hint of one and all, to the big and to the small, to the rich and poor alike, and foe and friend. And when we return again, may our foes have turned to friends, and may peace and joy with you until then. And I've a fine felt hat, and a strong pair of brogues I have rosin in my pocket for the gold. And my fiddle strings are new, and I learned a tune or two, so I'm well prepared to ramble and to go over that. And I've a fine felt hat, and a strong pair of brogues I have rosin in my pocket for the gold. And my fiddle strings are new, and I learned a tune or two, so I'm well prepared to ramble and must go. You're welcome back, and you're all as sober as when we left you. But that's not saying too much. Here, when you're lads, sing one with us. I'm a rambler, I'm a gambler, I'm a long ways from home, and if you don't like me, well, leave me alone. I'll eat when I'm hungry, I'll drink when I'm dry, and a moonshine don't kill me, I'll live till I die. Sing it yourselves to hear you. I'm a rambler, I'm a gambler.
delighted to welcome onto the stage with us Tom Rowe on the bass, which cannot as yet be heard. The Romanoff brothers Steve and Chuck. They are Russian-Irish.
We're usually rushing ourselves to get on and off before the fireworks go on.
God bless you, and you changed the string for me.
Now, this is the whole East Coast contingent here. New England for your life. The boys are from Maine, we're from New Hampshire.
I'm from North Carolina.
That's what happened to you.
Listen, I thought before we got rowdy, which could very easily happen later on, I'd like to sing at least one little quiet song. Okay, good. We just finished a 6-week tour over in Ireland, and one of the most popular songs that we sing is a song that I heard in a little backstage dressing room in Chicago many years ago. It's a song called The Dutchman, but it's universal. By the way, the character in this, not the old man himself, but his wife, Margaret, is one of my favorite characters out of all the people in the songs that we sing. Mainly because in the cold of the night, she always puts a little whiskey in the Dutchman's tea. And to me, that is the essence of a love song right there. The song tells of one day in their lives from early morning until late at night. And the chorus is straight out of one of the old man's mad reveries. If you can get it, sing it with us nice and quiet. It says, let us go to the banks of the ocean, where the walls rise above the Zuyder Zee. Long ago I used to be a young man, and dear Margaret remembers that for me. The Dutchman's not the kind of man to keep his thumb jammed in the dam that holds his dreams in. Now that's a secret only Margaret knows. When Amsterdam is golden, in the morning Margaret brings him breakfast. She believes him. He thinks the tulips bloom beneath the snow. He's mad as he can be, but Margaret only sees that sometimes she sees her unborn children in his eyes. Let us go to the banks of the ocean, where the walls rise above the Zuyder Zee. Long ago I used to be a young man, and dear Margaret remembers that for me. The Dutchman still wears wooden shoes. His cap and coat are patched with love that Margaret sewed in. Sometimes he thinks he's still in Rotterdam. He watches tugboats down canals and calls out to them when he thinks he knows the captain. Till Margaret comes to take him home again, through unforgiving streets that trip him though she holds his arm. Sometimes he thinks that he's alone and he calls her name. Let us go to the banks of the ocean, where the walls rise above the Zuyder Zee. Long ago I used to be a young man, and dear Margaret remembers that for me. and the windmills swirl the winter in. She winds his muffler tighter. They sit in the kitchen, and the tea with whiskey keeps away the dew. He sees her for a moment, calls her name. She makes his bed up, humming some more love song. She learned it when the tune was very new. He hums a line or two, they hum together in the night. The Dutchman falls asleep and Margaret blows the candle out. Let us go to the banks of the ocean, where the walls rise above the Zuyder Zee. Long ago, I used to be a young man, and dear Margaret remembers that for me. Rise it with us once. Let us go to the banks of the ocean, where the walls rise above the Zuyder Zee. Long ago, I used to be a young man, and dear Margaret remembers that for me.
We had a single of this next song just released in Ireland about 2 months ago, and it has sold 4 copies. But everybody's singing the song. So it doesn't matter about the sale of records as long as the people sing the song. This was written by a young fella called Colm Sands, who took a look out at what was going on around him. He's from Newry, County Down, not too far from where I'm from the Republic of South Armagh. But he saw what was going on all around him, and he was wondering what was going on. And over there, you're not allowed to say anything, no matter what you think. They always have words of advice for you. Whatever you say nothing. And then say nothing. And that's the title of this song. And the chorus says, and listen carefully and you'll be able to pick it up as we go along. The chorus says, whatever you say nothing. When you talk about you know what. For if you know who should hear you, you know what you'd get. They'll take you off to you know where, for you wouldn't know how long. So for you know whose sake, don't let anyone hear you singing this song. And it goes like this. Whatever you say nothing. When you talk about you know what. Or if you know who should hear you, you know what you'll get. They'll take you off to you know where, for you wouldn't know how long. So for you know whose sake, don't let anyone hear you sing a song. And whatever you say nothing. When you talk about you know what. Or if you know who should hear you, you know what you'll get. They'll take you off to you know where, for you wouldn't know how long. So for you know whose sake, don't let anyone hear you singing this song. You all know what I'm speaking of when I mention you know what. But I fear it's very dangerous to even mention that. For the other ones are always near, although you may not see. And if anyone asks who told you that, please don't mention me. And whatever you say nothing. When you talk about you know what. For if you know who should hear you, you know what you'll get. They'll take you off to you know where, for you wouldn't know how long. So for you know whose sake, don't let anyone hear you singing this song. You all know who I'm speaking of when I mention you know who. And if you know who should hear me, you know what he'd do. So if you don't see me again, you'll know why I'm away. And if anyone asks you where I've gone, here's what you must say. Whatever you say nothing. When you talk about you know what. Or if you know who should hear you, you know what you'll get. They'll take you off to you know where, for you wouldn't know how long. So for you know whose sake,
Liam, Clancy, and special guest, Schooner Fare.
Hello? Are the fireworks over? How are your ears? No, they're just about to begin. There's a bracing wintry breeze blowing through the budding trees, and I button up my coat to keep me warm. But the days are on the mend, and I'm on the road again, with my fiddle snuggled close beneath my arm. And I've a fine felt hat and a strong pair of brogues I have rosin in my pocket for my gold. And my fiddle strings are new, and I learn a tune or two, and I'm well prepared to ramble up the road. I'm as happy as a king when I catch a breath of spring, but the grass is turning green as winter ends. And the leaves are on the wing, and the turtles start to sing, and I'm headed down the road to see my friend. And I've a fine felt hat and a strong pair of brogues I have rosin in my pocket for my bow. And my fiddle strings are new, and I learned a tune or two, so I'm well prepared to ramble and turn on the bass. I have visited every town as I ramble up and down, making music at the markets and the fair. Through the trees and the fields and the farmers make a meal, and they had a drink or selling wares. And I've a fine felt hat and a strong pair of brogues I have rosin in my pocket for my bow. And my fiddle strings are new, and I learned a tune or two, so I'm well prepared to ramble and to roll. Here's a health to one and all, to the big and to the small, to the rich and poor alike, and foe and friend. And when we return again, may our foes have turned to friends, and may peace and joy with you until then. And I've a fine felt hat and a strong pair of brogues I have rosin in my pocket for my bow. And my fiddle strings are new, and I learned a tune or two, so I'm well prepared to ramble and must go. And I've a fine felt hat and a strong pair of brogues I have rosin in my pocket for my bow. And my fiddle strings are new, and I learned a tune or two, so I'm well prepared to ramble and must go. You're welcome back, and you're all as sober as when we left you. But that's not saying too much. Here, when you're not, sing one with us. I'm a rambler, I'm a gambler, I'm a long ways from home, and if you don't like me, well, leave me alone. I'll eat when I'm hungry, I'll drink when I'm dry, and a moonshine don't kill me, I'll live till I die. Sing it yourself so hear you. I'm a rambler, I'm a gambler. Shine
welcome onto the stage with us Tom Rowe on the bass, which cannot as yet be heard. The Romanoff brothers, Steve and Chuck. They are Russian-Irish.
It was usually Russian ourselves. They get on and off before the fireworks go on.
God bless you, and you changed the string for me.
Now, this is the whole East Coast contingent here. New England for your life. The boys are from Maine, we're from New Hampshire.
I'm from North Carolina.
That's what happened to you.
Listen, I thought before we got rowdy, which could very easily happen later on, I'd like to sing at least one little quiet song. Okay, good. We just finished a 6-week tour over in Ireland, and one of the most popular songs that we sing is a song that I heard in a little backstage dressing room in Chicago many years ago. It's a song called The Dutchman, but it's universal. By the way, the character in this, not the old man himself, but his wife, Margaret, is one of my favorite characters out of all the people in the songs that we sing. Mainly because in the cold of the night, she always puts a little whiskey in the Dutchman's tea. And to me, that is the essence of a love song right there. The song tells of one day in their lives from early morning until late at night. And the chorus, straight out of one of the old man's mad reveries. If you can get it, sing it with us nice and quiet. It says, let us go to the banks of the ocean, where the walls rise above the Zuyder Zee. Long ago I used to be a young man, and dear Margaret remembers that for me. The Dutchman's not the kind of man to keep his thumb jammed in the dam that holds his dreams in. But that's a secret only Margaret knows. When Amsterdam is golden, in the morning, Margaret brings him breakfast. She believes him. He thinks the tulips bloom beneath the snow. He's mad as he can be, but Margaret only sees that sometimes she sees her unborn children in his eyes. Let us go to the banks of the ocean, where the walls rise above the Zuyder Zee. Long ago, I used to be a young man, and dear Margaret remembers that for me. The Dutchman still wears wooden shoes. His cap and coat are patched with love that Margaret sewed in. Sometimes he thinks he's still in Rotterdam. He watches tugboats down canals and calls out to them when he thinks he knows the captain. Till Margaret comes to take him home again, through unforgiving streets that trip him though she holds his arm. Sometimes he thinks that he's alone and he calls her name. Let us go to the banks of the ocean, where the walls rise above the Zuyder Zee. Long ago, I used to be a young man, and dear Margaret remembers that for me. and the windmills swirl the wintering. She winds his muffler tighter. They sit in the kitchen, and the tea with whiskey keeps away the dew. He sees her for a moment, calls her name. She makes his bed up, humming some more love song. She learned it when the tune was very new. He hums a line or two, they hum together in the night. The Dutchman falls asleep and Margaret blows the candle out. Let us go to the banks of the ocean, where the walls rise above the Zuyder Zee. Long ago, I used to be a young man, and dear Margaret remembers that for me. Rise it with us once. Let us go to the banks of the ocean, where the walls rise above the Zuyder Zee. Long ago, I used to be a young man, and dear Margaret remembers that for me.
We had a single of this next song just released in Ireland about 2 months ago, and it has sold 4 copies. But everybody's singing the song. So it doesn't matter about the sale of records as long as the people sing the song. This was written by a young fella called Colm Sands, who took a look out at what was going on around him. He's from Newry, County Down, not too far from where I'm from the Republic of South Armagh. But he saw what was going on all around him, and he was wondering what was going on. And over there, you're not allowed to say anything, no matter what you think. They always have words of advice for you. Whatever you say nothing. And then say nothing. And that's the title of this song. And the chorus says, and listen carefully and you'll be able to pick it up as we go along. The chorus says, whatever you say nothing. When you talk about you know what. For if you know who should hear you, you know what you'd get. They'll take you off to you know where, for you wouldn't know how long. So for you know whose sake, don't let anyone hear you singing this song. And it goes like this. Whatever you say nothing. When you talk about you know what. Or if you know who should hear you, you know what you'll get. They'll take you off to you know where, for you wouldn't know how long. So for you know whose sake, don't let anyone hear you sing a song. And whatever you say nothing. When you talk about you know what. Or if you know who should hear you, you know what you'll get. They'll take you off to you know where, for you wouldn't know how long. So for you know whose sake, don't let anyone hear you singing this song. You all know what I'm speaking of when I mention you know what. But I fear it's very dangerous to even mention that. For the other ones are always near, although you may not see. And if anyone asks who told you that, please don't mention me. And whatever you say nothing. When you talk about you know what. For if you know who should hear you, you know what you'll get. They'll take you off to you know where, for you wouldn't know how long. So for you know whose sake, don't let anyone hear you singing this song. You all know who I'm speaking of when I mention you know who. And if you know who should hear me, you know what he'd do. So if you don't see me again, you'll know why I'm away. And if anyone asks you where I've gone, here's what you must say. Whatever you say nothing. When you talk about you know what. Or if you know who should hear you, you know what you'll get. They'll take you off to you know where, for you wouldn't know how long. So for you know whose sake,
so-and-so, not to mention such and such. I'd better end my song now, I've already said too much. For the less you hear and the less you say, the less you'll go astray. And the less you think and the less you do, the more you'll hear them say. Oh, whatever you say nothing. When you talk about you know what, or if you know who should hear you, you know what you'll get. They'll take you on to you know where, but you wouldn't know how long. So for you know who's sake, don't let anyone hear. On a cocktail, all together. Whatever you say nothing. When you talk about you know what, or if you know who should hear you, you know what you'll get. They'll take you off to you know where, but you wouldn't know how long. So for you know whose sake, don't let anyone hear you singing this song. And whatever you say nothing. When you talk about you know what, or if you know who should hear you, you know what you'll get. They'll take you off to you know where, but you wouldn't know how long. So for you know whose sake, don't let anyone hear you singing this song. No, for you know whose sake, don't let anyone hear you singing this song. Proudly the note of the trumpet is sounding, loudly the war cries arise on the gale. Legally the steed by Lochswilly is bounding to join the big squadrons on Samer's green vale. On every mountaineer, strangers to blight or clear, rush to the standard of dauntless red hue. Connacht and Gallowed lass, throng from each mountain pass, onward for air and O'Donnell go. Princely O'Neill to our aid is advancing with many a chieftain and warrior clan. 1,000 proud steeds in our vanguard are prancing neath the borders brave from the banks of the Ban. Many a heart shall quail under its coat of mail, deeply the merciless foeman shall rue. When on his ear shall ring, borne on the breezes wing, Tyrconnell's dread war cry, O'Donnell go. Wildly o'er Desmond the war wolf is howling, fearlessly eagle sweeps over the plain. The fox in the streets of the city is prowling, all who would scare them are banished or slain. All with O'Donnell and fight the old fight again, sons of Tyrconnell are valiant and true. Make the proud Saxon feel avenging steel, strike for your country, O'Donnell go. Oh, see the hosts of men who speed with faces wan, from farmstead and from fisher's cut, along the banks of Ban. They come with vengeance in their eyes, too late are they, for young Ronnie Macaulay goes to die on the bridge of Doom today. Up that narrow street he stepped, smiling proud and young, about the
their hands or paws or anything. You can clap anything you've got, love, and I'll be delighted.
Now let him clap whatever you got, and he'll be twice as delighted.
Well, all of us speakers got a place in the choir. Some sing low and some sing higher. Some sing out loud on the telephone wire. Some just clap their hands, applause. I can't hear you, come on! All of us speakers got a place in the choir. Some sing low and some sing higher. Some sing out loud on the telephone wire. Some just clap their hands, applause, or anything they got now.
To the bass, it's the one on the bottom where the bullfrog croaks and the hippopotamus moans and groans with the big to-do, and the old cow just goes moo.
And the dogs and the cats, they sing out the middle where the honeybee hums and the cricket fiddles, the donkey berets and the pony day, and the old red badger slays. Oh, all the Dutch speakers got a place in the choir. Some sing low and some sing higher. Some sing out loud on the telephone wire. Some just clap their hands, applause, or anything they got now.
With the little birds singing and the melodies and the high notes ringing and the hoot owl cries over everything and the blackbird is supreme.
And it's singing in the night time, singing in the day. The little lump whites and he's on his way, and the otter has got what to say. When the porcupine talks to himself, oh, all of us streets got a place in the choir. Some sing low and some sing higher. Some sing out loud on the telephone wire. Some just clap their hands and applause or anything they got now. Difference on the living song everywhere by the ox and the fox and the grizzly bear, the grumpy alligator and the hog-a-bum, sly old weasel and the turtle dove. And all of us teachers got a place in the choir. Some sing low and some sing higher. Some sing out loud on the telephone wire. Some just clap their hands and paws their heads. On your own! All of us teachers got a place in the choir. Some sing low and some sing higher. Some sing out loud on the telephone wire. Some just clap their hands and paws. Do it again! All of us teachers got a place in the choir. Some sing low and some sing higher. Some sing out loud on the telephone wire. Some just clap their hands, applause, or anything they got now.
Red is the rose that in yonder garden grows. Fair is the lily of the valley, clear is the water that flows from the Boyne. But my love is fairer than any. If you can get this with us as we go along, we'd appreciate it. You have to sing this one nice and soft, not rowdy.
Oh, red is the rose that in yonder garden grows.
Fair is the lily of the valley. Come on.
Fair is the lily of the valley.
Clear is the water.
Clear is the water that flows from the Boyne. But my love is fairer than any. Come over the hills, my bonny Irish lad. Come over the hills to your darling. You choose the road, love, and I'll make the vow, and I'll be your true love forever. And red is the rose that in yonder garden grows. Fair is the lily of the valley.
Clear is the water that flows from the Boyne, but my love is fairer than any. 'Twas down by Killarney's green woods that we strayed, when the moon and the stars, they were shining. The moon shone its rays on her locks of golden hair, and she swore she'd be my love forever. Oh, red is the rose that in yonder garden grows. Fair is the lily of the valley. Clear is the water that flows from the Boyne, but my love is fairer than any. 'Tis not for the parting with my sister Kate, 'tis not for the grief of my mother, 'tis all for the loss of my bonny Irish lass, that my heart is breaking forever. Oh, red is a rose that in yonder garden grows. Fair is the lily of the valley. Oh, clear is the water that flows from the Boyne, but my love is fairer. You have no idea what it's like to hear this many voices singing all together. Rise it once more. And red is a rose that in yonder garden grows. Fair is the lily of the valley. Oh, clear is the water that flows from the Boyne, but my love
skipping at the top, while the landlubbers lie down below, 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 while the landlubbers lie down below. And the ocean waves do roll, and the stormy winds still blow, and we poor sailors are skipping at the top, while the landlubbers lie down below, 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 while the landlubbers lie down below.
Thank you. When I was a little boy, so my mother told me to
Way all away, we'll always go.
well, that if I did not kiss the girls, my lips would all grow moldy to me.
Way all away, we'll always go.
The way all away, the good ship now is rolling to me.
Way all away, we'll always go.
And first I met a Yankee girl, and she was fat and lazy to me.
Way all away, we'll always go.
And then I met an Irish girl, she damn near drove me crazy to me.
Way all away, we'll always go.
Way all away, the good ship now is rolling to me.
Way all away, we'll always go.
King Louis was the king of France before the revolution.
Way all away, we'll always go.
And then he got his head cut off, it spoiled his constitution.
Way all away, we'll always go.
Sing it with us. And
Way all away, the good ship now is rolling to me. Way all away, we'll always go.
St. Patrick was a gentleman, he came from decent people to me.
Way all away, we'll always go.
He built a church in Dublin town, and on it put a steeple to me.
Way all away, we'll always go.
Last time,
Way all away, we're bound for better weather to me. Way all away, we'll always go.
thank you. We're going to have to leave you because the time's running out. The man at bedtime didn't make enough of it. We're going to be here tomorrow, so come back and see us. Our very sincere thanks to Schooner Fare. I'm sure many of you have seen them over here. Doing a terrific job. Sing a song with us before. Thank you very much for coming and seeing us. Come back tomorrow and see us. Stay where you are because there's a nice group on Tannehill. Tannehill Weavers are coming up after this. You're going to have a great time. And heel ya ho, boys, and let her go, boys. Heave her head round unto the weather. Heel ya ho, boys, let her go, boys. Sailing homeward to Makem. Do it again. And heel ya ho, boys, and Fare. I'm sure many of you have seen them over here. Doing a terrific job. Sing a song with us before. Thank you very much for coming and seeing us. Come back tomorrow and see us. Stay where you are because there's a nice group on Tannehill. Tannehill Weavers are coming up after this. You're going to have a great time.
Until your eyes and let her go, eyes, heave her head round unto the weather. Heel your eyes, let her go, eyes, sailing homeward to mingle. Do it again. Heel your eyes.
fine old woman. What did I have? This proud old woman did say I had 4 green fields, each one was a jewel, but strangers came and tried to take them from me. I had 5 strong sons. They fought to save my jewels. They fought and died, and that was my grief, said she. Said she.